yes, that is funny, but I'd be worried the person would then just hold it out of spite and then pee themselves.
You have to be mad to willingly pee yourself. Welcome to Then You Ruined It, a podcast where two dorks try not to make a simple conversation weird and fail every time. All right, so this has been on the back burner of my brain for a while now, ever since my wife came back from China, where she and my kids were for a couple weeks this summer. Them coming back and telling me all the stories that they had while they were in China reminded me of another time my wife went to China without me and came back and told me a story. This is that story. She's like, so one night I was looking out my parents' window and I saw a dude just get out of his car and start peeing. And I'm like, crazy China. People pee everywhere. Which, you know, is kind of true, especially with that, and especially there. It was more that her parents lived one block away from a lot of big hotels, so a lot of cabbies would take people from the train station or the airport to those hotels and then really have to pee. But there wasn't a really good place for them to pee, so they go around the block and pee by my in-laws' place. So that's the world in which she lived. So she was looking out the window and was like, oh, there's somebody peeing. And then she's like, you know what? I should look at his dick just to see. So I'm like, and did you? She's like, yeah, I did. And then there's like an awkward silence in our conversation. And I'm like, what did you think about it? And she's like, it was small and weird looking. And I'm like, yes, let's keep this in mind just for all future reference. All dicks that aren't mine are small and weird looking. The end. I think I handled the situation correctly.
I mean, yeah, best case scenario. Like, you know, you allowed it, which is, you know, I would still be up every night thinking about, how do I compare? Why'd she look? Was she curious? Is she sad? Is she happy with mine?
Is she curious? Is she sad? Well, that's where you got to find out more. Obviously, she was curious, so she wouldn't have looked. So, you know, that's just the thing. You got to imagine, women don't have the bevy of opportunities to look at other people's genitals that we have every time we go to a men's room. Like, that's
True.
just weird. Can you imagine if every women's room had just like a mirror as the floor and you just had to not look? That's our lives, ladies. That's our everyday life.
I just love the dichotomy of man peeing. Well, I got to look because it's out. We all know it's out, so I might as well look. Versus, you know, if I even had the slightest hint of a woman using the bathroom outside, I would look away like it was the hottest of suns. So I didn't accidentally see something. Because even though, again, if you've chosen to do that in a public place, in a public forum, that's on you. I still feel like I would be the pervert if I was to look.
And that's the correct assumption. No matter what the person in the situation has done to you, you are the pervert.
There's just something so crude about men peeing because you have, you know, the thing on the outside of your body. Like you have to get it out to then pee. And so the fact that you've done that means, so what? Everybody gets to look at this now. They shouldn't, because if you do, you know, you should be arrested. But not the person looking, the person doing it in the first place. Clarification.
No, if you're in the bathroom, you're allowed to take your wiener out. Can we, like...
Yes. No, I'm talking if you just, like, whip it out not in public, but, like, you know, peeing outside somewhere.
1 block from a major hotel.
Okay. Yes. Anywhere outside, everybody they should just come gawk. Like, it's like, and if you feel weird, okay, that's on you.
Well, because you can choose where you stand when you do it. You can go stand up against a wall.
Yes. I remember I peed, so I've peed outside. Gosh, I really haven't peed outside that much recently in my life at all. But I remember I drank so much water while I was mowing the lawn one day. Just like, literally, I can see the spot. I mean, I can't right now because it's dark, but I can see exactly where I stood from where I'm sitting right now.
Wait,
because
you were at your own
drank so
house?
much water. I had to do it like right behind my own house. And there's no good place to do it in our backyard because you can see me from anywhere at that point. So I kind of like leaned up against like the lattice work.
Were you locked out?
No, I'm not locked out, but I had to go. Like I was not going to make it. My cleats were on. They were caked with
You mow
mud
the lawn
and
in cleats?
You have told me about peeing outside so many times. Do not even try and turn this around on me like what a weirdo, right, folks?
No, I mean, I will tell my peeing outside stories here in just a minute, but... All right, so...
My feet were filthy. It would have taken forever to take off the cleats that I have to wear because I have such an incline to mow. So, I said, not worth it. Not worth it trying to fumble to get all this stuff off and get inside while I just pee myself. I'm just going to go out here.
Okay, you know what, Jason?
And it worked out.
I take
Nobody
it back.
saw me.
It's your property. It's your penis. You can combine the two however you want.
Oh, man. The realtor told me the same thing when they gave us the keys right before they left. And just remember, it's your property. It's your penis.
It's on the state
Good luck.
flag. Virginia. It's what
No.
Robert E. Lee died for. So, my favorite peeing outside little trick is if you're ever out driving somewhere and you don't want to stop to let someone pee, but they keep complaining. This is what many a Scoutmaster has done to me over the years, is instead of pulling to the side so they can go off and just pee into the wilds away from everyone, you pull into the median so they have to pick a direction where people can see their wing wong. That one's fun.
Yes, that is funny. And that is, the ultimate Sophie's choice. But I would be worried the person would then just hold it out of spite and then pee themselves. And then I've got pee in my car.
You have to be mad to willingly pee yourself. Like, I can't imagine being like, I'm mad.
I would love to see that from an adult. No, I'm more thinking that they're going to hold it out of spite, and then they can't hold it that long, and they just pee themselves. Then it's on you.
I mean, hopefully they're sitting in the back, so it's not on you, but...
Nah. Yes. Not actually, but still. Like when my friend drove way too fast, and I threw up on his mom's car. Again, not on. They told me to lean my head out the window, and he was doing like 75, so it's just splattered all over the back of the car.
Oh, gross.
That was on him, because he decided not to let me out and let me puke. He just said, nope, we got to make good time, so lean out the window, you'll be fine. And I did. So you just have to consider necessity of whatever the person's asking for, and then consider the alternatives.
I mean, I'm pretty dad. I'm about as dad as you can be at this point in my life. I don't care if it takes 30 more seconds to get where we're going. Like, the only time I've forced my kid to, like, make a decision is when we were trying to catch a ferry. And so, like, there was a time crunch. But any other time, I'd be like, no, just pee here. It's fine. I'm in no rush. Let's all take a turn. Everybody, out of the car.
That story is way more interesting if you do like I did and don't hear ferry, Ferry, but you hear ferry, Fairy.
Well,
and then you're opened up to a whole host of opportunities.
I drank this cake, and now I see these little fluttery folks, and they tell me I need to be home by a certain time. So, I gotta do it. Do what the bath salt man says.
It is a more entertaining story, I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they usually are. Let's see. When else did... Okay. So, time for the story that point of order. Request permission to change bodily fluid.
Never, ever say that to me again.
If it pleases the court, I would like to talk about a different bodily fluid.
I'm not. There's no judge. There's no stand here. Just.
There's a motion on the floor to change bodily fluid. Do you second?
You're changing it. You're in court 1 minute, and then you're in a meeting next. What? Pick a lane, damn it.
I don't know how things work. I just know sometimes you need to be seconded. And then I want the motion to pass.
Since when do you ask permission for anything?
Well, because sometimes you're like, I had more pee stories. Stop talking about diarrhea.
If I had more pee stories, I would have brought them up by now.
All right.
I peed my pants in a Walmart once while I was trying to climb on my friend's back.
Oh yeah, the story that made this podcast.
Okay. I don't remember that, but sure.
Oh, we talked about it, because you give boosties weird, and then you laugh so hard you peed, and then, dog table boosties, now we've got a new podcast.
Oh man, my long-term memory is just shot. I totally forgotten I told you about that, and that you did dog table boosties. Oh.
This is how I'm staying the sharp one. Only one of us is allowed to get Alzheimer's in this relationship, and it ain't gonna be me.
Noted. All right, change the bodily fluids, but be quick.
Okay, so when I was a kid, once again, Scouts. Once again, Idaho. Once again, this is all totally normal in the 90s. We were going out camping in a cave. And when you camp in a cave, they are very strict about some of these rules. These are very nice caves that lots of people like to go camp in, and nothing ruins a cave quicker than a poop. Like, literally, there's no airflow down there. There's no animals down there. If you poop there, it's going to stay there. So, you don't poop in the cave. Say it with me, Jason. You don't poop in the cave.
You don't poop in the cave.
All right, thank you.
I think I might have heard this one before.
Oh.
If not, you've pooped in caves before.
I didn't poop in no cave. So we made it we went out there, and it was very important. Like, we kept reminding ourselves, okay, don't poop in the cave, don't poop in the cave. And I went out after a long day of playing in the cave. Like, I'm going to go pee. And as I'm going out to where I am far enough from the cave that I think it's okay to pee, I stepped in a dude's turd because he Hershey squirted all over the front of the cave door.
I mean, when you're a scout in Idaho, maybe you encounter that more than once, and maybe so that's why I've heard that before, but I feel like your long-term memory is good, and my short-term memory is good. I think you've told someone sharted on the cave before.
I may have.
It's prescient.
I love how the only
sense.
time you remember anything that we've talked about is when I want to talk about it again.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, yeah. Sorry you stepped in a guy's poop again.
I mean, of all the things I've done in my life, stepping in a dude's poop is probably in the middle third.
You've led an interesting life.
I really have. I'm like Forrest Gump. If all his stories just didn't change America in the slightest and just made you question humanity a little bit.
Let's go with Forrest Gump.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Then You Ruined It. If you enjoy our flavor of nonsense, please like and subscribe wherever you found us. And please share with your friends and cooler family members.